Is my audio working this week? It is. Hello, friends. Welcome back to our Game of Thrones Song of Ice and Fire tabletop role-playing campaign after the fire. We're back as per usual. Thought I was going to get a little full house tonight. Unfortunately, Charlie's feeling a bit sick again, so she can be arrested and the rest of us can figure out what the hell is going to happen. Before we started, we were debating weird English pop phenomenons from the noughties, like the Cheeky Girls. Touch My Bum, This Is Life, and lots of other weirdness. We feel obliged every time, and Don, you could come in on this by all means because you're my first guest. We feel obliged at least to educate Don a little bit into the kind of peculiarities of British culture when we were younger. And I mean, you're still here.
Yeah, I mean that's why, I'm an ignorant American who is just on a personal journey to learn more about the world, and I've chosen to do that by playing Game of Thrones
Cool.
with all of my British friends who teach me new things every day.
It's a very strange way to go about it, but I appreciate you nonetheless. How are you doing, friend? You're up to a lot, I imagine. Still?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, it's been a crazy year. It's been a very busy year, and in a good way,
Yeah.
And like most of my big projects that are still remaining are kind of wrapping up over the next couple of weeks, and then in the second half of December it's actually like super chill. I did my calendar for the month yesterday, and I got like halfway through December and I was like, oh wait, I'm like writing days off onto weekdays, like what is this?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm up to a lot of different things. Streaming and running games and prepping for new campaigns that I'm going to be running next year, and writing, and all fun stuff.
Yeah,
I'm happy to
sweet.
be doing it.
Beautifully nondescript. I loved it. Cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more about when you can talk about those other things, I guess. Yeah, always. Um and looking forward to our Dark Sun game as per usual every other week or
Yeah, it's
so.
it's been so good.
I'm
We
legit
shrunk you.
surprised I am still alive, not gonna lie.
You throw yourself like straight forward into every single big encounter. Last week, you got shrunk down to the size of like a penny
I did. I
and
remember.
put
I know.
into a child god's diorama of horror, and
Live
you survived.
diorama where we fought this. What was it called again? It's the really
It's
famous
the
D&D Dark
it's
Sun
the
monster.
Gaj, yeah. It's
Yeah,
like the Dark Sun monster that everybody knows, but it was also shrunk down. I mean, for you, it was a normal size Gaj,
yeah.
but for it was small.
This frog dude's little pet Gage, just handheld. We killed it. It's fine. He cried like the
It's all
Rancor
good.
master. It was all good. Anyway, from one reference to another. Hey V, how you doing, friend?
Hi, I'm not sure how that segue works, but I'll take it.
Don't know.
I'm doing all right.
Good,
You know,
good. We're talking
little
about how
things.
cold it is recently here
I
now.
hate it. I hate
Winter's
it. I
coming.
don't know what the sun looks like anymore.
No,
It's
no,
dark in the
it's just
mornings,
dark
and
now.
there's like some blue at some point in the afternoon,
Susie's
and then by the
staring at
time I
us like
look
she
up,
doesn't live in the south, and you now.
Susie in the south. And then I look out of my window after I finish work, and I'm like, oh, it's dark again. I guess it's just dark forever now until like May next
Yeah,
year, whenever
yeah,
winter decides to end for us.
yeah. It's
Um,
garbage.
but we can't really go out anywhere anyway. So I just I live at my desk now, and if I'm not at my desk, I'm playing something. So it's my life
Good.
at the minute.
Did I see you back on The Witcher this week?
Yeah, if my internet hadn't kind of died throughout the stream, but yeah, causing more trouble and making terrible decisions, and still sticking with Yennefer though. So Susie, chat haven't convinced me yet to turn my back on her.
Good, because James came into my stream chat and was like, "Oh, V's internet crashed because she dated Triss and the internet couldn't handle how awesome it was." I was like,
Oh,
"James,
that
what are you
ship
like?"
sailed. I've ruined that romance storyline. That's never gonna
Oh,
happen.
is there no going back now?
No, no.
Oh,
My chat at the very most got Geralt being like, "No, stay with me," when I already knew it was too late. That's the most I would give them.
Oof.
And I may have accidentally murdered one of the other sorceresses.
Accidentally.
We don't talk. She drugged me, did a bad thing, and then I got mad about it, and she had a go at me. And so I told her to do one, and then she started throwing fire at me. And by that point, I was like, well.
Because as my we strange segue, but because fireballs solve everything. As my recent inductee to D&D, my old college friend Claude, as we're playing on a Sunday, and like she's got it already. She literally sent me that meme, like fireballs solve everything, and I was like, see, you know. Yeah.
Apparently, it was my fault she died, though, even though I didn't. I wasn't the one that started throwing fireballs, but
They're just
chaps
blaming
still haven't
you.
forgiven me.
You
Could
are the
be
conduit
worse.
through which they play, so they
You can
just blame
also
you.
get that particular woman tortured and murdered by the Church of Eternal Fire.
Oh, no, why? You know, there's
I mean, I hate those guys too. Like, I want to burn them to the ground as well.
So now there's that really weird ending, isn't there? With the not the ending, but like the romance plot ending, where you can like sleep with Yennefer on like the back of a unicorn or something. Isn't it meant to be like ultra rare or something? I got that ending just straight off the playing it and following the. I was like, what the fuck is this? There's a
It's like
gin,
when you go
and
to
then
like
there's...
when you go to Skellige and she shows up and Geralt's like, "Oh God, you had the unicorn fixed," and it's like, Geralt, don't pretend that you're upset about this. We all know what's going to happen in approximately 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Cool. Alrighty. I mean, so we've been talking about The Witcher. Anything to add, Susie?
It's a good game. Should play it. The TV show is also pretty good. Should watch it.
When they're bringing out season 2, when are they doing that? Soon?
I don't know.
Soon?
Probably next year. It's filming. Well, filming.
I thought they'd
as best
wrapped.
they can.
I don't know. Yeah,
I know that
suppose.
Tom and Giantsbane's going to be in it.
Oh yeah, and I had heard that. Yeah, super cool.
There you
How
go.
have you been, friend? Is it cold where you are then? Is that why you're giving us evils?
It is -3 currently. where I am.
Oof. I saw the snow
There's
photos.
Snow. It's still in the ground from where it snowed like a few days ago, and we're going to get more soon. So yeah, and I was out there in the parking lot, car park,
Whoa.
2 days ago, looking for Justin's wedding ring in the snow. So that was fun.
Was
We
that his
found it.
fault?
It was his fault.
Yeah.
I was there in my hoodie and my little slip-on shoes because I didn't realize it was that cold outside. And I'm like, fuck. But it was fine. But yeah, I'm good.
Good. Sweet. Well, I hope that you keep your wedding rings on.
Yes. Trust me, he had the talk.
Have you had to like do any serious Canadian things related to that? Like, I don't know. We don't really like shovel out our like driveways or anything here ever. Have you had to do stuff like that?
No, we live
Not
in an
yet.
apartment building, so apartment services do all that for us.
Oh.
I know.
Oh.
Apartment services. Justin is gonna go get his winter tires put on his car soon. That's about as wintry as it gets. I've got a big coat that's got like 3 layers in it.
Winter tires. I think
Yeah.
I've ever conceived winter tires. Ever.
They're a thing apparently.
Yeah.
And you have to pay Canadian Tire like $150 to look after them. And then they'll take them out of storage for you and put them on your car or some shit. I don't know.
Can't you just keep them like in a lockup or something?
You could, I guess.
so
I don't
weird.
know. It's just a lot of people use Canadian Tire for that.
Cool. See?
Yeah.
Now we're
I'm
learning.
stuff.
Yeah, now we're learning things. It's a cultural exchange.
There we go.
Tom, you have to tell us something Welsh. Not in
I was
Welsh
going to say
necessarily.
this was an ad for Canadian tires, but
Yeah, well, it was a bit, yeah. Someone clip that and give us the revenue.
yeah, right. Like send it to them and say, well, now you got to pay us.
Pay us.
Free ad, that was advertising. Nothing is free.
Yeah.
Same with Netflix and The Witcher. Pay
There
up.
you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Genuine community advocacy. Tom, tell us something Welsh, man. I want some cultural exchange.
Oh, bloody no. I don't know. Our national dish is cheese on toast. There you go.
I knew that.
All right.
What about
Is that
that
like
horse
half?
skull?
Wait, is that half a grilled cheese sandwich?
Yes.
What is cheese on?
It's Welsh
Kind of.
rabbit.
So
Kind
So
of.
it's
you
kind
hot
of.
you
I've
hot
learned 2 things today.
two things.
See, everyone's
We're on a
learning
roll.
something. I don't know.
What's the horse skull thing that you do at Halloween?
Are you
And you
just
go
making...
around.
It's not Welsh enough. You're trying to shame Tom.
There's a horse skull that they dress up in garlands and shit, and they go around people's houses asking for beer, and then you can you've got to refuse it or some shit, and if you refuse it, you got to sing it a song.
Is this like some mad Welsh village up in the
No,
valleys? Or
I'm
something
gonna
that just
fuck. I'm
does it?
googling this shit.
I mean,
Some
I've
cult
never-
that Susie found.
This is a cult. This is like somewhere up in the mountains.
It's
Hope says New Year's.
apparently, not Halloween.
Still don't know what the hell you're talking
It's
about.
that, Tom. How do you pronounce that?
Mary Lloyd?
There you go. That.
Mary Lloyd, I think. I don't know what that is.
Merry Christmas. I'm
Never
willing to
seen
bet
it.
it's Merry Christmas.
I'm more Welsh than Tom is. Right,
I've never
moving
seen
on.
it. Yes, you Googled something that could have potentially have been Welsh that is done in some village up in the mountains. Congratulations.
Fair enough. How have you been apart from that?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. Tired. Still getting used to waking up early and going to work, but yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Just keeping busy, trying to keep dry, and trying to stay warm. Because although it's quite mild, there was a day or two that it got down to -2, so that was pretty nippy.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is
can get
nippy.
pretty nippy.
Yeah, winter's arrived in the UK.
But see, for me, I like that. I prefer cold and dry than mild and wet. I cannot deal with the last winter. Really psychologically wounded me because of the rain. Wettest winter on record, and it was horrific. Every time I see rain, I just flinch.
Give me hot late July summers. I'm done. Then I'm done. I'm sorted. Yeah. See, Ash disagrees. Fundamentally incompatible. Never mind.
What does Ash prefer then?
She prefers cold because then you can snuggle up and get warm.
See, that is logical.
No.
She is totally right, and you're wrong.
No, I'd rather
That weather
sit.
that you get at the beginning of October, when you can still go out in a t-shirt if you want to, but you could wear a hoodie. That's optimal weather.
Like autumn kind of.
You can't be
like-
bringing mild temperatures and spring and autumn into this.
It's extreme.
It's summer or winter. Pick a side.
Winter.
Winter.
Cold,
Summer.
warm up. Get some hot chocolate. In the
Summer,
summer, you just
warm,
you just feel like a
sunshine.
slug that's just on
Daylight.
like that.
I think I'm just solar powered because
Maybe you are,
I do
actually.
because I do. I get far more energized in the summer. Absolutely. Anyway, I've probably talked enough crap tonight before we start the game. Hi everyone. Sorry. We have to do some pluggy announcement type things, I'm sure. So we are still sponsored by Roll20 in their spotlight. So head on over to roll20.net for your virtual tabletop needs. Very good little app, and we use it for a lot of stuff. And then our GM screen for the Spy game came out in PDF very recently and went to backers just before that. And the PDF for the call book and the GM screen is up on Modifius.net as well, as they're helping us distribute. So thank you very much to them. V and I will be in ModCon, their little online convention, or our little online convention, this weekend. We'll both be in a panel about running 2D20, playing 2D20. And then I will also be in a product reveal panel where I get to show off all the kind of cool things that Modifius is doing next year. And V, you're in an Act and Cthulhu game, I think.
Act and
aren't you?
Cthulhu on Sunday, yeah. So that'll be fun. Lloyd's GMing, I think.
Oh, Lloyd, awesome.
So it'll be a good one.
That's going to be really good. Yeah, sweet. Alrighty. But apart from that, I think we're ready to jump into tonight's session. So this is going to be the 15th episode of this season. But we are going to round it off tonight, friends, because I want to get us into new places, move along a little bit with the plot, get us into breaking up the band again and doing lots of funky, small, independent-like adventures. Heading off into Dawn, heading off to Highgarden. It's going to be good. This is Tourney's End. And we are going to open tonight with a little tableau of Marcia being escorted by a group of Tyrell's knights, along with Lord Leo, to a small encampment just outside Fox Hollow. He's gathered an entourage here, and most of his council is with him as well. Notably, Lady Rowan, Marshal of the North Marches, his Lord Steward, Lord Hightower is present, but not so much part of the kind of knightly entourage that carries her off. Not literally carries her off, but you know. Yeah, Lord Leo is now around the Fox Hollow court, and he has kind of established himself as having loyal knights around him at all times. There's been a tension in the air as Hollow Hearts and guards like basically give him evils as he goes past a lot of the time. So there is a tension here, but nothing's kicked off. He is Lord Paramount of the Reach, of course. So doing anything to him would pretty much be treason. The definition of a little treason as a treat. Let me just go round. I'd like to get a gauge of what you guys would like to do, if you have any of your own agendas, quickly. And then I can also bring in a couple of points, a couple of NPCs that have got their own actions as well. Why don't we start with Enzo and Miria, just to get a gauge of the kind of Greenmont side. What do you guys want to get up to? And if you want to have a conversation, by all means, frame something and begin and have a chat.
Miria would want to speak to Rowan because she seems to be one of the only few fucking people that has any sort of common sense in the Reach, and was the one that had come to speak to her about the whole host going down to Dawn. So she knows what that's about, really. And she's kind of like, hey, don't let them forget that a host was marched into Dawn. Like, that was kind of significant. Everyone's kind of glossed over that because Mara got hurt, but also that happened.
Yeah.
And then I think, Miri and Enzo definitely need a chat.
And Enzo's he's kind of on reactionary at the moment. This is, for him, this is something to do with the family, kind of above what he would class as not so much his pay grade, but really his interest. This is out of his wheelhouse now. This is courts. He can't really. So so he's kind of like sitting back, waiting for someone to ask him for any help or anything that he would like to do. He already has kind of like a goal on what he wants to do for the future. There is one thing that he might like to do. This is an out of character thing.
Mm-hmm.
How much would it cost to hire about 4 knights, like hedge knights?
How are you asking me? How many Toms?
Yeah,
How many top men?
Or maybe not
Top
even
men.
hedge knights, but people, mercenaries, or kind of like bodyguards, or someone along those lines, that you could use.
I, of course, now I've got to open up the house rules document that's got our better economy stuff in it. There are a couple of ways to go about it. The first, mechanically, would be to invest a destiny point in a cohort. A cadre, I think. But you need a certain, I want to say status or persuasion, I think.
Well, I think I've got the persuasion down.
Probably.
And my status is 3, so I don't know if that's like... I mean, hey, if I can save money and just persuade people to friggin' hell yeah. But I figured...
status 3.
Got.
Cool. But it's a benefit, so you need to invest a destiny point.
Really? I can't just hire...
So cohort is a loyal ally. Cadre is what I'm thinking of. And a cadre...
Oh, right.
Cadre is literally a You gain 1 veteran squad. Persuasion has to be 5.
Shit.
You got 4.
Yeah.
No way. I thought you
Yeah,
had
I
more
got
than that.
4. No.
Okay.
Balls.
Oh, okay. The squad is a group of 10 men. These characters have the statistics of guards or any unit the character's house is invested in. The squad automatically reorganizes or rallies at the start of each round. Blah blah blah. If they're wiped out, you lose this quality and the destiny point used to acquire it.
Do I? Oh wait, so I still need a destiny point to acquire it.
While you need not pay this squad, you must feed and provide for the soldiers in it. So that's essentially kind of one way to kind of get it for free.
Okay.
Oh wow! Thank you, Raiders 54. Amazing. Welcome into our Game of Thrones tabletop game with the Greenmont Song of Ice and Fire rules that we use. We are just talking about trying to get a squad of dudes.
I am attempting to butter up the DM so that I could get a few men to accompany me. I mean, it doesn't need to be 10 like a squad. He essentially just wanted like a group of 3 to 5 people who are loyal to his frigging coin. Doesn't need their loyalty that much. He just really wanted.
Yeah. Okay, wages. Archers per day, 8 copper.
Yeah.
Armored infantry per day, 12 copper.
Okay.
A normal infantryman, 6 copper.
Okay.
A knight per day, 24 copper pieces. That is what will get you the hedge knights that you're after.
All right. Wait, what page was this on?
You can check out in the house rules PDF that we use. Page 43 in there.
Is it on the Google Drive? Oh, there it is. I see it.
Should be.
No, that's the language house rules. My bad.
Oh, no worries. You can also buy 1 set of bagpipes
is.
for 8 silver. Just, you know.
Oh, sweet. I might do that just for the lols, you know? What was it, 43, did you say?
Page 43 of those house rules PDF, yeah.
Sorry, it's just so I can get them up and... 42. Oh, here we go.
Top right of the page, mate. Yeah.
All right, let me just kind of think because I've got an idea of what I kind of like want to do. So I would like one of pretty much everything, right? So like an archer, a melee. So maybe do I want to? Yeah, go on then. I'll do a knight. I want kind of like an underhanded spy kind of person. Whatever that would be under. What would you say that is?
Probably a courtier.
Courtier?
You can hire the services of a courtier. Let's make them 12 silver a day.
Silver? You mean copper?
Oh, no, hang on. Okay, they're one-off fees. Sorry. I was looking at that other thing. Let's make it similar to, say, a mason, as that's more of a, it's more of a skilled thing. 12 copper a day.
12 copper. And you know what? I think I will have. So I've got a knight, and I think I'll have an armored infantry as well, which is basically kind of like not so good as a knight, but they've got some armor, you know.
Yeah, fair.
If you allow me, I would like to hire those 4 people, if that's okay.
Yeah, as the tourney is packing up, you can absolutely take the morning to search around camp.
I mean, there should be plenty of people around for stuff like that.
Yeah, and you find them around the where the smiths were set up for their stores, just as the hospitality tent is taking down one of its larger pavilion tent poles. You can. I'll even throw in the knight's squire for free.
Sweet! I'll take that as well. Yeah,
he comes with a squire.
Comes with a squire.
Chat. We need a Westerosi knight's name and a squire's name for the hedge knight and for his squire. And did you say you wanted an armored infantryman as well?
Yes, so an archer, a knight with
okay.
a squire that comes free, a kind of like spy, courtier, roguish kind of person, like in the shadows and shit like that,
Yeah.
and an armored infantryman. But essentially, it's just like another knight, but not as well trained. He's just got armor. and
Yeah. No, that's fine.
kind of thing.
Someone who didn't do so well in the melee.
Yeah,
But yeah.
but owns his own armor.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Hey, won it in a round in the tourney. Has never
Oh,
had
there we go.
has never had this much armor before.
I like it. I like it.
I like Squire Morgan. Squire Morgan's good with a Y.
okay.
That's very good, Pope.
So Squire.
Do you know what I'm going to take?
Morgan
I'm not going to take
and-
Gareth for the night, but I'm going to take Garth because it's got a
Sir
nice tie into the Reach
Garth.
with Garth
Ooh.
Greenhand.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Sir Garth.
Okay. I can come up with the other names as the night continues because they're
Yeah, no worries.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So essentially Enzo, seeing as how much of a massive cluster this has turned into become, and he is essentially just on his own, he felt that maybe in the need to kind of have a little paid backup, someone that'll just do it for, is reliable, as reliable as my coin can be.
Yeah.
Just as a
Mercenaries are
little
not known
extra
for their
thing.
loyalty.
And Enzo knows that. As long as the coin keeps coming, he keeps them happy, the mercenaries will be happy. It's the way it goes.
Cool.
They're, in some essence, the most loyal. So he'll do that, and then obviously wait if Miria or anyone else wants to talk to him. He'll be kind of probably somewhere, but he'll probably have them quite close to him at most times.
So Miria, do you go out searching for Enzo down towards the grounds where the tourney is now packing up?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I'd like to think that you meet on the way back up. So you are about halfway down that long sloping path down towards the tourney grounds up from Fox Hollow Keep. And there are one or two of the household, either servants or small folk, who are bringing up a cart of something. There's a mule that wanders by with some couple more barrels of wine. In fact, going the other way because there's going to be no feast tonight with Marzia heading out.
Miria has Bryn with her now. Now Marzia has been taken. She's going to have Bryn with her at all times. So yeah, I think she's walking along with him. She's trying to play it off to him as if they've had just a nice little walk. She's trying to take his mind off seeing his mum fucking marched out of their house. And she's Enzo. Enzo?
Enzo's probably next to one of his new, I suppose, companions, and he'll turn to you and then turn to the thing. Make sure you are ready to depart shortly. We will be going to Highgarden. And he'll nod. Miria, how are you?
How do you think I am?
Pissed off?
And she puts her hands over Bryn's ears. I'm going to need you to talk me out of going to their tent and slitting both of their fucking throats.
In that case, come walk with me. And he'll kind of like come forward and put his arm, like a reassuring friendship, on the shoulder, and go and just start slowly walking with her. And so it would seem that it would be rather appealing to just sneak in, slit their throats, and be done with it. But I would imagine that you would be suspect number one on such things.
Most likely, yes.
Most likely. So I would not advise it.
I would stand in front of them all and declare that I'd done it.
Yes, but you are so young. You have your entire life. Plus, if Lady Marzia does go away or dies, who is to look after little and he'll nod to Bryn. It is not just your life you have in your hands now.
I know. But it's not right.
Funny thing, I would imagine that they would say the same, but at a different kind of
Of course they
view.
would. Mara's been the perfect victim her entire fucking life.
What have you talked to Matsia about her defense?
I haven't had chance.
Hmm.
I spoke to her to say that they had agreed she was to suffer a trial. Then they came and collected her. She did tell me, though, that you helped her write a document
I did.
declaring me as regent in her stead.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I think that was one of the first things she asked me to do all those years ago.
Mhm.
Took a few weeks, but we got there.
How am I supposed to be regent, Enzo?
Well, you grew up in such places, in high places. You saw Lady Matsia. Did you not learn anything from her?
I did. But I'm not someone who's made to run a house. I'm not
Then
supposed to be responsible for an initially stand up a child.
surely at some point you thought you would be.
Yes, when I was a small girl and was raised to think that my only value was in being sold as a wife.
You did not envision to have any children yourself.
Of course I did when I was younger.
Not now.
Things are very different now, Enzo. I'm a very different person.
That's true. That's true. I would imagine Lady Matsia felt the same when Lord Greenmont passed away.
Sure she did.
But 5 years later, she turned this place around. She built a castle. That is no small feat in such a small time.
No. I don't think I'm as strong as she is.
I think we don't truly know how strong we are until the moment comes where we have to be. And in such cases, you will either sink or swim. I cannot tell you one way or another if you will be strong enough. Only you know that. You know yourself better than anyone.
Suppose. Life just seemed so much easier when I thought the one solution to everything was at the tip of a spear.
It would be so much easier if it was. No?
It certainly would.
I mean, a lot more bloody. Oh, so significantly more bloody. But simpler. But this is what politics is. A complicated mess.
Speaking of, though,
Mm.
I am not entirely sure about what our relationship is going to be anymore. You were hired by Prince Makar as a tutor and guidance for Marzia.
Mm.
Is
That I
that
was.
now void?
Well, really, realistically, that kind of contract expired at least 2 years ago.
I see.
I liked the place. I stuck around. I made friends. I cannot say that I will always be around. I have my own ambitions. I have my own life. But while I am, I will help out when I can.
Would you go to Highgarden? Be a friend there for Marzia?
Well, I was already planning on going to Highgarden.
And Miri, I think she just smiles, as in like, I don't know why I even had to ask, but she gives a warm smile.
And,
Thank you, Enzo.
And what will you be doing?
Well, I suppose I'm going to be regent.
Mm.
Make sure Bryn grows up.
Make sure that House Greenmont is still standing.
Mhm.
It is not easy to put away your own ambitions for the great good of the family.
Miria looks incredibly guilty right now. Like she has, she's definitely not meeting Enzo's eyes as he says this.
But it is a good thing. And he'll kind of like stop and kind of lean in a little bit. But I wasn't to blame you if you decided to wash your hands of the whole thing and just do what you wanted to do. It's what I would do.
I don't know. But I do know that at some point soon I am going to have to go away. I just hope I can return.
Well, I suppose the way we leave, never know if you're truly gonna return. All you can do is try. That is how I. Oh, and that is normally how I do it, and also do my best to put the odds in greatly in my favor at all times.
Oh, I know.
That's how you
I've been
survive.
there. I've seen you playing cards.
Well, you know, it's better when you win. Don't like losing. It is. It is what's the fun in losing? So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before you go, at least you will have time to put things right. However, for all we know, Lady Marcia can be found innocent. If it were me, and I was in her position, as awful as it sounds, I would blame it on the cat. Have the cat killed, get back home. That is what I would do.
You know it's not going to be that simple, right?
But it could be. Just like the tip of your spear.
I wish I had your optimism.
I will do what I can. But I think you already know that greater things are at work here than one attack.
Oh, I know.
Just make sure the right people know. As I will.
Right. I suppose I better get this one back to the keep.
Yes, he's looking a little tired, and he'll go round and kind of like take out like a kind of like a gold dragon. He'll put it in his fingers and kind of go around, and then close the fist, and it disappears. And then just do the thing, you know, just this really cheesy thing from behind his ear, and kind of do it just to make him giggle. And you go, no, you will have to be a strong man. You are now in charge of the house.
And Mirio, as Enzo is stooped low over Bryn to show him this trick once again, Bryn's boyish squeals of laughter punctuate the look of a man from across the Barbican up to the keep. He's rather shabby looking, a Dornishman by his looks, with very short, tightly knit, curly hair. And he's leant up against the stonework. But he is watching you intently.
Enzo, can you just watch him for a minute?
Of course, we can have fun here, can't we, Bryn?
Don't teach him any of your bawdy songs. And then Miria walks off.
I give Bryn a wink.
I swear to God, if that kid starts singing The Bear and the Maiden Fair, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. So as you approach, this man kind of gets up from leaning, and then looks, not obviously, but looks about you and conveys the scene for just a second, and then says to you in quite an audible tone, "My Lady Miria, my condolences for your mother-in-law's arrest."
And she, Miriam's just eyeing him with a little bit of suspicion. But it says, unless Thank you. Though I'm sure this injustice will soon be righted.
His name can't be Edmure. I'm not having that.
Nope. Mm-mm.
No.
Look, it doesn't end well for Dornishman's names that begin with Ed around me, okay?
No. He looks at you square in the eyes and says, "You will know me as Davon. You will join Princess Mariah's carriage train as a camp follower in a day as she departs in the evening. From there you are to make your way down to Sunspear, where she is intended to travel. You will not see the Queen. She will not see you. You will only speak to me. You understand?"
And she's looking at him seriously, and with quite a grim expression, she nods. I understand.
I will see you following the camp. Good day.
Good day.
Please wish your good mother well. And he just walks off.
Yeah. And I think if Enzo looks over at Maria, she has like a really difficult expression on her face as she's just like hit with the wave of like, oh fuck, this is actually happening. I've agreed to do this. And oh shit, the responsibility that I just before she kind of like slowly makes her way back over to Enzo and Bryn. Slight change of plans, Enzo. I'm going to need you to take Bryn with you to Highgarden.
You going somewhere?
I am. Remember the trip that I spoke to you about earlier?
I do. It's a lot sooner than I thought.
A lot sooner than I thought. I thought I had more time.
I guess time is against us all. I will, well, you'll need Lady Matzia's permission.
She will not give me it for this. And as regent, I don't need it.
Well, I'm not going to try and stop you. It is your life. You do what you want to do.
Kind of wish you would a little bit.
I know. But even if I did, you wouldn't listen.
No, I wouldn't. But it's a wheel set in motion. It's a little scary.
Do you want to do it?
Yes. I have to do it.
Then do it. We will be here. Won't we,
Right.
Brent? And he gives him a little nudge.
Yeah, he looks up at you for a second, as kids want to do, to take a lead from an adult, and then he looks over, looks back down to Miria, and just gives her a nod.
Mm-hmm. I think Miria crouches down in front of him, and she gives him a huge, huge hug, and pulls back a little bit with his shoulders. And she says, "I need you to be good for Enzo. Can you do that for me?"
Yeah, he nods. You can tell he's close to tears as he gets a kind of understanding that you're going away.
Mhm.
He doesn't really understand the whole idea of why, obviously, but he's
Yeah.
in his feels about it.
And she like brushes his cheek because I think she can see he's about to cry. And she says, "I'm going to be back very soon. And I'm going to bring you the best gift you've ever seen. A huge present." And she's trying to scrabble for what the fuck that could be in her head, but she's trying to cheer him up.
Yeah, he's still looking quite teary. But yeah, we'll let the moment hang. Samuel and Mara, back over, camped on the hill is the Tarly host, with their own camp followers, their own hedge knights, their own mercenaries, at the expense of Lord John. but they are still here. And the camp followers have indeed set up a camp for you to be able to be rested here on this hill of the valley for as long as you might need. At this moment, you're awaiting news of what's to happen. The understanding from your father being that Lord Leo is going to take lead, essentially, and take point on the matter. And for Glendon, this is somewhat of a test of his liege lord, to see what he really does. And being here but doing nothing is as much a political move as it is just to see justice done. But in this time, is there anything that the two of you want to do around camp with the people that are here? Lord John is still being looked after. Otherwise, there are knights and soldiers under your command and your father's command, and of course, your father and his entourage of sergeants.
I think there's probably a discussion between them about where they go from here, because assuredly they have to get to Highgarden at some point because they'll be called to speak at the trial. But they have a host and they've got to do something with it. Because didn't Leo tell us to basically send the host home?
Yeah, I dropped that in towards the end of last session. So he did say, like, stand down your men, basically, take them home. But I'm interested in playing it out. I don't want, you don't have to follow that.
So I imagine that there has to be a conversation, like maybe late, maybe that night, because Samuel wouldn't encourage his father to leave immediately, because that's a show of kind of like tucking tail and running to show weakness, but maybe not staying more than one day. So I think if his father hasn't come to him and Mara by the end of the night, then he would go seek out his father to find out, where his head's at, what he's planning.
I can absolutely imagine that you are all invited to an awkward dinner with Lord John, as well as your as the two dads essentially are here. Lady Oakheart has joined her husband now, because you've arrived at the Fox Hollow Tourney grounds. And there are a few more camp followers, a few more hedge knights have decided to attach themselves to this wandering host, as Swords of Fortune or wandering knights are wont to do. This is what they do. They attach themselves to people, or to hosts, or to short campaigns, so that they can get paid, so that they can share in the glory. And the host is just that little bit bigger than it was yesterday.
So I have a question. If we're at this awkward dinner, does Mara get a sense of what Lord John's mood is like? Because it was at her and Samuel's request that he didn't join the parlay, that he stayed behind with the host, but also wasn't really given control to do anything either. And now Lady Oakheart showed up too.
Yeah, I mean, you can get
what is his mood like right now?
Yeah, absolutely. You both you get a sense in an easy read, both of you, that Lord John seems a little frustrated. He tries to busy himself a little bit with whatever he can do. He's got that big, fidgety dad energy that he's just like, I just want to do something. Or he's got that transference where he's frustrated about something, so he'll try and just be frustrated about something else, or be frustrated about anything he can. He's going over ledgers, maybe. He's been going over talking to soldiers. He's even been doling out pay, like, with his paymasters, because...
he's reached that point of, like, I have to channel this somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Mara probably gives Samuel a look like, because I imagine they sit next to each other at dinner, and like he's fidgeting with something, like playing with his cutlery. He's having a conversation with Lady Oakhart that's just like pointless and is clearly there just to fill the sound.
Yeah.
And I think Mara gives Samuel that look of like, this doesn't look good. Like he does not look like he's doing well.
No, and whenever you would look up at Lady Jane, she glares at you back, with, you know, some understandingly distastefulness, but you can also, she hasn't said anything to you yet, and for her, and for the amount that you know these people as well, being that they are regrettably family, there is something of sympathy about that. You'd think if she doesn't have any sympathy for you, she would have just launched into something. But she's keeping a lid on it.
How about Glendon? How about Lord Tarley? What's his disposition like?
He seems fairly contented to
Okay.
what's going on, but he's eager to see what happens.
Okay. Samuel, during this awkward dinner, is all smiles and like subtle jokes, very like relaxed and optimistic. That's the disposition that he has. He doesn't cut at the start of it. He would graciously greet both Lord and Lady John, or Lord and Lady Oakhart. He doesn't cut them out of the conversation, and if they glare at him, he doesn't notice.
That's lovely. Yeah.
He doesn't seem to notice.
Yeah. And there's that beautiful, I would say, for the sake of your education still, British politeness about their approach to you. You're getting all the kind of niceties from them. All the kind
this
of
is what Mara
slight
is
etiquette.
doing to them.
This is passive-aggressive family Christmas dinner. This is what this is.
Mara is all smiles with Samuel and with Glendon, but it's just like as nice as she possibly can try to be to Lord and Lady Oakhart, although she doesn't really speak to them directly. She either speaks to everybody or someone in particular that isn't them. She's doing that. It's like, I will include you because you're here, but I'm not going to start a conversation with you.
Cool. Okay. But yeah, did you want to actually launch into anything? Did you want to actually discuss anything particular?
I think Samuel would probably wait until everyone's on their second glass of wine, and they've already finished the main course, and he sort of like relaxes back in his seat and maybe like unbuttons one button of the coat that he's wearing just to kind of like loosen up a little bit, and he'll look to Glendon. He'll look to his father. He'll say, I have to admit I was nervous about today, but it was great to see justice being done in the Reach for the first time, perhaps in years, really.
It is a very fortuitous time for Lord Leo to finally grow some balls. And I am very interested to see what he does next. He looks about the room at that point, like he looks at the Oakharts. He looks at you guys.
He leans in, but he doesn't close off to the Oakharts or Mara. He just kind of leans in a conspiratorial way that doesn't exclude anyone, and says, "Oh, you, Father and Lord and Lady Oakhart, you know Lord Leo Tyrell far better than I do. Do you think that he's capable of executing this trial and not botching it?"
It's actually Lord John that speaks up. I've actually always thought that the lad was capable, just that he was a little short-sighted in his ambition, always driving for personal glory, particularly on the Tourney grounds. Little irony, really, that he also is a champion here.
I'm sorry that
sorry, as Lord John is saying, like, ambition and glory, Mara does that thing where she picks up her wine and just takes a sip to stop herself saying something. Like to stop an expression forming on her face, she just takes a long drink and puts it back down until Samuel starts talking again.
Samuel gives him a smile that's not demeaning at all, but he says, I'm sorry that I had to miss the joust myself. I would have liked to face Lord Tyrell on the field. But as you say, it is just a tournament. Tournaments do not rule the reach. Wisdom and strength rules the reach.
And Lady Jane says very politely, if you do meet him in the lists, then I wish you all the best. Which goes back to like nibbling on her grouse or whatever she's eating.
Mara does the thing where she's talking at Samwell, but it's clearly directed kind of after Lady Oakhart's comment of, I'm sure you'll get your chance. You won 2 competitions this tournament, and Lord Leo doesn't miss a tournament if he's got a chance to ride in the lists. So no doubt you'll be able to knock him off his horse at some point.
You'd have won the trio, I'm sure, if we hadn't got up into this mess, says your father.
Well, I'm sure I'll have more opportunities, and I'm merely happy that I was able to win what I did and represent House Tarly. All of the training that you've given me, Father, over my life, and all of the hard work that our house instills on every member of the house, that was on display, and I'm glad that people could see it, and I'm glad that Lady Mara is all right when things could have been so much worse. And most of all, I'm glad and thankful for you, Father, and you, Lord John, that you came with me here and helped us see justice done. This was wisdom, I think.
Lord John looks over at Landon and asks, what are we going to do if Longthorn doesn't deliver the justice that we deserve? And then when he says we, he looks over at you, Mara. Glendon says, looking back at him, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're getting at. But I think maybe we've stirred up enough on the borders of the Reach in the last few years. He looks back over at you now, Samwell. I think perhaps for now, returning to Hornhill would be the best option. And you can both see the kind of look of frustration on Lord John's face as he disputes that with your father, and basically tries to argue him round to, this being the, most well-trained, could be potentially the largest fighting force in the Reach if they gathered enough, only a few more, I'll say regiments, but squads of men. And he's essentially kind of pleading a case for not standing down.
Samuel doesn't he doesn't seem to get upset. He really tries to hear Lord Oakheart out as he's pleading his case. But he will pose the question, if we were to make use of this host in any way, what are you recommending, Lord Oakheart?
I am not sure, in all honesty. But with the power that we have here, we have some leverage. And what is the word I'm looking for? We have some security. If we were to kowtow now to what Longthorn wants, perhaps we won't show the severity that we intend, that you intend, that Mara deserves.
Samuel glances aside to Mara and gives a little smile and just very gently says, well, perhaps the host doesn't have to disband. Perhaps we can rally at Horn Hill, even call the banners, increase the size of the host, and then Highgarden will know that we are watching. We are looking to make sure that justice is done. And if it's not done, well...
The trial
I suppose
hasn't
that's
even started yet. And we're talking about forming an even larger host.
Lord John says if we're talking of that, then perhaps Lady Mara, maybe Fox Hollow, could do with your stewardship for a while.
She looks at him dead in the eyes, completely blanked face for a minute, and then just... You're joking.
We are here, aren't we?
And what makes you think that I ever want to step foot on those grounds again?
I know, but it was your home for a good time.
It was my home until I was told I couldn't come back. It was my home until I was told I wasn't even allowed to enter the castle. It was my home until the Lady Marcia tried to kill me. Now, that place is full of ghosts, and I would like to be far away from here. I have no claim to Fox Hollow. This belongs to my brothers.
It is a very weak claim, I agree. But you can retake your home. And you can perhaps expunge... that's the wrong word. You can expel these spirits. Exorcise them.
I don't want Fox Hollow. I never wanted Fox Hollow. Why do you think I worked so hard to give it to Marcia in the first place after my father died? I don't want to spend my days in a place that's only going to haunt me. Through no fault of my own, for the most part. And she's doing the thing where she's talking about the thing without saying the thing, but she's making a really big point about whose fault that is.
Sam, does... I can't remember. Does Aleister have any sisters or brothers?
He has
Is he an only child?
He had
his
two...
older brother that died, didn't he?
He had two other brothers that both died on the field. For two different sides.
That's right. Okay. So he's the last in the line.
Aleister is literally the last in the line, yeah. If he dies, it starts going to uncles and cousins. So Gwaine Oakhart is Lord Leo's something. I want to get that right. He is his steward, friend and confidant as well. We've encountered him a couple of times, but
he's not a family member.
He's a cousin.
Yeah, he was in the tourney.
Yeah, so he's literally Alice's cousin. He is, so Lord John's nephew, direct nephew.
Okay. Samwell will take another drink as he's listening to this conversation, and he'll put up the idea, if Lady Mara is not interested in taking back Fox Hollow, that doesn't change the fact that Fox Hollow is diseased, that Lady Marcia has turned the house into a disgrace for all of the Reach. Someone must make it part of the Reach again. Someone must lead the house.
Mara's giving Samuel a look of like, where are you going with this?
Perhaps pending the trial. Then, Lord John, for all of the support you've given the Reach, and finances and arms, a member of your house might plea to take control of Fox Hollow yourself. Sir Gawain, perhaps. He's quite the honorable man, well respected.
Sir Gawain,
Under
perhaps,
the table,
but
Mara grabs at Samuel's wrist as he's talking about this.
It
He
might
bites his lip.
might be easier for the people of Fox Hollow if a family member were here.
Anyone you send in there from the house, it won't be good. The loyalties run deep at Fox Hollow.
Which is why I think you would be an excellent candidate.
I don't want it. The house belongs to my brothers.
Sorry.
There are more than enough people who could steward it. Miria is there. Enzo is there. There are more than enough people.
Lady Jane then pipes up. We are speaking conspiratorially, and we do not even know what Longthorn is going to do yet. We have heard nothing. And as if magically, in that moment, soldier comes in, walks in the flap of the tent, bows, and says, "Excuse me, my lords, my ladies. Lord Leo Tyrell is at camp. Your father stands, and the oak hearts stand as well. And your father looks about. The table is still set for dinner, and so he thinks we'll head over to the war tent, and then he leads you over to there. Inside, Longthorn has already taken a seat. He has a small entourage with him of knights. He is flanked by two of them. One of them is, in fact, Sir Gawain, stood at his side, to his right-hand side, just behind him. The other is a teenage lad, with the look of a young knight, an old squire about him, and the pale complexion, I believe, and the typical ironwood hair, and as general knowledge around court, you would recognise this as Lord Leo's squire Tremond Ironwood, a relative of the main branch. Again, probably another cousin or something. And Lady Rowan is sat with him as well, just off to another side of the knights. And so we are going to set up a little something here. So for Lady Rowan is going to assist him. I'll just give him a +1 bonus dice. For the knights, he is going to get a bit of DR. What in little environmental qualities or things, little truths do you want to bring into the scene that will benefit you guys in a way, do you think? Could be like something about the tent, could be the soldiers that you have, or anything like that.
Could it be that maybe the war tent has been made to look a little bit less like a war tent?
Mhm.
Like, it's probably obvious from the size and some of the stuff in here, but there's no longer, marching plans or battle plans
Yeah.
out and
Yeah.
figures and pieces. So it looks a little bit less like we're a host marching to war, maybe.
Do you want more for it to be more hospitality kind of based? So he feels a little bit more at ease or more welcome?
Maybe it's been kind of moved into more like a receiving tent. Because
Yeah.
it would have the kind of size and the grandeur for something like that, I'd imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. For that, I will give you a flat +1 to your test results on persuasion tests. So this, you've essentially made him feel more comfortable. So that's just per test. Okay. So your father will be an NPC in this. He'll actually kind of lead your side of things, but I'll probably paraphrase a fair amount of his stuff. But I am interested in what you guys want to get out of this too, and then Lady Rowan will chuck in with some stuff as well, if she's not assisting. All right. Okay. I am going to let Lord Leo go first. He is the Lord Paramount, after all. And then, let's see if he's got any funky things about him. No. Okay. I made him really easy to do. Okay. Not a lot of drawbacks to remember, which is good. Okay. But for everyone else, let's roll some initiative for intrigues. So status breeding will apply this time around. And she's got this one actually. So Lady Rowan's going to do your little trick of getting some bonus dice, because she's got rank in breeding against Lendon Tarly. She's going to do a free test. Oh, 3 6s and a 5. Banging.
Are we meant to roll as well?
Yeah, so
Okay.
if you've got a rank in breeding, you can do the funky little bonus dice thing, if you'd like. Yeah, this thing. Against their intrigue defense, every 2 degrees thereafter gets you some bonus dice. I mean, she rolled like a 23. Oh, you got a 22 there. That's banging as well. Nice. Oh yeah, she's head of house. She gets the +2 as well, weirdly enough. So 25. Oof. And Lendon's intrigue defense is that, so she is going to get a couple of bonus dice off of that. Okay. So let's roll this quickly. Let's roll.
Are you rolling initiative?
Yeah, status breeding.
Wow.
Oh,
That is the worst dice roll I have ever made with Mara.
2 2s and a 1.
One.
For
That is the
breeding.
lowest I've ever rolled. That's amazing.
Jeez.
I'm so glad it's finally happened.
It's kind of the right circumstances, though. You're waiting to receive news, so it's a good one to waste the luck on.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a bunch of people in the room she doesn't really like, so.
Yeah, true. Okay, here comes Longthorn's big 6. 13. Alright, fine. Cool. Landon got a 6, so I'll chuck it to him there. Don, you still need to roll, I think, for the actual test, because that was your bonus dice. As a free action, that was your breeding thing.
Okay, so I just roll status, or do I roll status breeding again?
Status breeding.
Okay. And how many bonus dice do I get for 22?
You get 2 bonus dice.
That's a much worse roll.
Yeah, so that's a 12 in your actual order. So it will go. It will actually go. Lady Rowan, your dad, Longthorn, you, and then Mara. Okay. Faye, Glendon. Longthorn. Samuel. And Mara. Okay. Cool. So Lady Faye is going to assist Longthorn this round. And then Glendon is going to consider. So we'll get a couple of bonus dice there for obviously wanting to hear the news that Lord Leo has. Once everyone is seated appropriately, Longthorn begins, and he describes Marcia Greenmont is now in my custody. She will be escorted to Highgarden, where we will have a trial. I believe it's appropriate for her to be going to Highgarden. She hasn't visited in many years, and so it will be a chance for her to actually engage in some courtly politics and gain some awareness for the wider reach outside of the Red Mountains. In her stead, I will appoint my lady wife to look after Fox Hollow and to warden for her son, Bryn. Lady Casella will be here for the duration of the trial, and should Marcia prove innocent, she will leave as Marcia returns. If Marcia proves her guilt, then we will have to cross that bridge when we come to it. Lord London, I have done as you asked. We will deliver justice either way. The gods will show us the light. The crone is wise. She will ensure that we come to the truth of the matter. I hope that you as well, Lady Mara, will respect the outcome, whatever it may be. But as I say, Lord Lenton, I have done as you asked. I have done as you all have asked. Now I need to ask you to return to Hornhill. Stand down, your soldiers. Disband this host, so that we might restore peace to the Reach. For expediency, I'm just going to roll here quickly. Oh, there's cheeky convince. Nope, wrong one. Doesn't matter. Chucking a bonus dice here. 11. Well, this is going to be versus your dad's intrigue defense of a 9. And so 1 degree of success will net Longthorn. Bit of hot NPC on NPC action here, friends. I hope you're strapped in, ready for this. Right. Oh, it's a meaty 3. All right. Your father doesn't look entirely convinced or put out by this. But it is your turn, Don.
Samwell is big smiles at this. And when he says that he's named Lady Casella, as the temporary ward of Fox Hollow, smiles even larger. And he interjects after the decree, his smile fading with the decree just a little. And he simply says, "My Lord Tyrell, I have to thank you for everything you've done to keep the peace in reach, for your wisdom today, and for your seeking justice. I assure you that's all we want as well, but you have to admit, this conspiracy that exists in the Reach, that has likely been festering for some time, it is unlikely to stop with just Lady Marcia. There must be others with plans and activities working against the peace in this realm."
There are, Lord Samwell. As well you know. As well we discussed. He shoots a look at Lady Faye, and she pipes up and says, "I'm glad to hear of your concerns for the peace among the Marcher Lords and the Reach, as wide as it is. Please."
"I only wish to find out who else is involved. Already, I suspect Lady Miria knew of what Marcia was planning, attempted to cover it up. Perhaps Enzo Sal might be a witness. But this tournament, all of these lords, all of these ladies who are gathered here, there must be more information here. And once these people leave to return to their houses, is there not a unique opportunity to find out what is really going on here in the Reach that will be lost?"
We are losing it by the hour, my lord. The Tourney is disbanding. People are already on their way to their homes. Some halfway to their holdfast by now.
Before we return to Horn Hill, while we're gathered here in support of you and the Reach, is there anything we might be able to do before the opportunity is gone?
Nothing that flanks of men can do, unfortunately. It is all laws and politic. If you stand down this host, come with us to Highgarden. We will, of course, need your testimony, my lady. Then the good you can do is to help me secure more legal stead for myself in the Reach. The traditions of this realm are long and aged, and they contain some rights and privileges to lords that other kingdoms do not possess. It has, I would say in confidence, caused me a great deal of bother in the last few years. Not just the rebellion, but there has been a conspiracy at Highgarden to reduce my authority in this realm by hosting petty campaigns, by stirring up trouble with our new friends in Dawn. And he's looking like squarely at you and your father. And so again, I would ask you to disband this host, return it to Horn Hill.
Samuel nods and says, I cannot speak for my father, but I hope that our being here and not on some campaign in Dawn, as others might be whispering in your ears, is enough to show you that we are with you in peace. And I'd like to use fast talk. That's what I'm trying to do here.
Okay.
I'm trying to get him to share too much information. I'm trying to get him to question, like maybe I am listening to the wrong people.
Yeah, sure thing. Okay. So this is against his passive will. And this is your persuasion test. So you use persuasion or deception, and you use one of the techniques, so one of the specialties, like as normal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mean, and I will hold you to this, Don, like I've held players to their statements in the past.
Absolutely.
Does he believe in what he's saying? Does he stand with Tyrell? Does he stand for peace in the Reach?
He stands. Okay, so
Deception.
He absolutely. Well,
there was hesitation. No, I'll let you explain
Yeah.
it. Sorry.
So, he really does. Part of Samuel's goal was to stop the host from attacking Dorne, and he succeeded in that.
Yeah.
Partly because of a terrible attempted murder on Mara, against Mara.
Yeah.
But that was enough to keep them out of Dorne. So he's being true about that. The host is here. The host is seeking justice, and in Samuel's mind, obviously, Marcia attempting to kill Mara does deserve to go to trial, and they're not invading Dorne. So I don't know. Is that persuade? Is he being honest that he is really, really supportive of Lord Tyrell? No.
Then it's deception.
He doesn't. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, he did just say we are 100% behind you.
Yeah, that's fair.
If it's not true, then it's not true.
Yeah, if it's not 100%, then it's deception. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do then. What would you call this? Act, bluff.
You can use a persuasion specialty as bonus dice.
Okay, cool. Because I am trying to be charming. I'm trying to be charming.
You can use charm specialty. That's fine.
Okay. I'm gonna use because I'm gonna use one of my 2 bonus dice for this intrigue on this as well.
Oh, okay. Oh yes, of course.
A 12.
Against his intrigue defense?
Against his passive will.
Oh, then yes.
So he loses his cunning from his intrigue defense.
Loses his cunning from his intrigue defense.
I had a feeling Lord Leo had low will. That was my guess.
It's a very good tactic. Expert play. If this was sports ball, there'd be a replay. It was very, very good. That's how you intrigue. Right. Cool. Okay. Well done. Yeah. He's... You can see him getting quite hyped up a little by what you're saying, and he's on board, But it is Mara's turn. So why don't, with your amazing stats, just end this intrigue now and we can all go home? It's UV.
Sorry, my internet's doing a thing, so I caught like half of that.
Oh, I said, why don't you just finish this intrigue now with your amazing stats? We can all go home. But let's
okay.
take your turn. Go on.
I think Mara doesn't really say anything. She kind of nods politely towards Leo Tyrell when he addresses her, but she doesn't want to interrupt him. There's a lot of talk about a host that she kind of has, at least to everybody else, no stake in because it's not her host. But I think once it goes quiet, and if Lord Leo looks to her, she'll kind of turn to him, and she is kind of wringing her hands a bit because now it's kind of getting very real. Marcia has been arrested. Things are happening. It's kind of hitting her a bit in that moment that actually this is real. My lord, I am grateful that you would see to justice being done, and of course, whatever the outcome of that trial, I will accept it, whether it is what I would hope for or not. I have no host to turn around for you to prove my support, but I do not wish to see war in the Reach or in Dawn, either, like the people who stand around me. There has been far too much fighting, far too many blood feuds in this kingdom with the old history that it has. I, for one, have always been in favour of making the Reach stronger, connecting the houses better, and stopping the petty feuds that go between them. This is why I wanted justice in the first place. I could have disappeared and left Fox Hollow and left things as they were. But somewhere down the line, that would fester. Perhaps she would continue the resentment. Perhaps my brothers would grow to resent me for something. Perhaps I would turn bitter. And that's what destroys the power that the Reach has. And I don't want to see that happen. And she's basically just pushing to him kind of what everyone else has said, like it's not, or at least what Samwell has said. Nobody wants war. And, she's kind of, I guess, playing on that. Like, he's had a lot of trouble with lots of the kind of the petty infighting and kind of like what was displayed at the parley, where he kind of had enough of that too, and so had Maker. And she's trying to, convince him that, like, none of us want that either. That all sucks for all of us. So...
Yeah, and I'm willing to buy that as persuasion if she truly feels
she does.
that way.
She genuinely believes that is something that Mara has always hated, is like the petty blood feuds and the 300 years ago somebody did a thing and I'm still mad about it now. Like, she thinks it's ridiculous.
Yeah, sure thing.
So I think she's just trying to convince him that, like, what is being said here is truthful.
Sure. Persuasion charm. Persuasion convince, sorry. You said convince.
16, and then there was a flat bonus, you said, wasn't there, for the war tent thingy?
A flat +1
So
to your persuasion test results.
18 total.
Okie dokie. And he's lost his intrigue. His cunning from his intrigue defense, because this is against Longthorn, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are no 6s, and you would have got a crit. So alas. But 18 is still 3 degrees of success. No, 2 degrees of success. Just shy of 3. 2 degrees. So this is double your will.
8.
Composed damage. 8. Nice. And I don't have any different disposition towards you. Okay. That's very decent. Nice. Okay. And then it is back up to Lady Rowan. She launches into an not an argument as like aggressive, but like an argument as a a topic about how it would she's speaking explicitly to you, to Samwell, about how as a young lady in the Reach, she empathizes with your position, that you're to take over your house, and you are essentially kind of in training at this. You guys had a thing, right? This was in the background, we figured out. Yes.
We almost got married, and when Aleister and Samwell were involved in the incident at Fox Hollow with Sir Oliver, she basically called it off.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember now.
To avoid, like, her reputation being tarnished.
Yeah, and she essentially goes some way to convince you that some a strength in some unity for the Reacher houses would be best suited for what she essentially says to you is like our generation of leaders. So help us, help the Tyrells, and she's going to use all her amazing bonus dice, doodads, to try and convince you. Can only roll up to her persuasion. Oh no, that's Lenton. What am I doing? We've got too many character sheets, people. Oh, okay, cool. So I'll knock. Ugh. She assisted last time, so she's got to. Okay, so this will. I'll use her 2 bonus dice from that thing she got. Boom. A 20 against your intrigue defense, Don.
I'm going to use my what's it called?
Anointed?
I'm going to use my anointed trait to improve my passive skills by +5.
Okay, yeah.
For the turn. And I think that manifests as him giving her a small, not unkind smile and saying, I agree. There's much the next generation of leaders in the Reach can do. But I am a knight, and I believe in my heart that the Reach has the greatest knights in the realm. They exemplify the virtues and honors that knights in all 7 kingdoms should have, should show. And whatever decisions we make here today, they must be just, they must be united, but they must be as virtuous as the knightly orders decree. And that'll make it just 2 degrees of success.
Okay, cool. So I rolled charm by mistake, but I'll keep it. And she does 8 composure damage.
Okay.
She deals 8 influence. So knock it off your DR first, and then take that on your composure as needed. Okay. And then it is your father. Just for ease, mate, he is going to assist you. So you'll get I'll give you a quick +1 bonus dice to your next test. And Longthorn, I'm essentially going to do more of the same, and he is going to try and convince again for your father to head home. Basically, his tactic here is to ask nicely. He's doing the managerial ask rather than the tell, right? He's going about it the kind of political way, in a way, So that is just 1 degree of success, and with a 3, then it doesn't go through. Glenn, your father is somewhat unconvinced, but it's over to you.
Samwell speaks up again. I imagine like Glendon probably he's not convinced and he's kind of being resistant, and Samuel's worried that maybe his father's not doing this as gracefully as he could.
Oh well,
And
so let me
so
let me offer actually. Let me offer to you. Then
yeah,
rather than really string it out, if there is essentially a yield action, if there is a compromise that you easily want to come to based on the conversation that there was had over dinner anyway, we could arrive at that, and that basically means that both sides kind of both get a little bit of what they want. So both objectives are kind of half met. We can figure out that compromise.
no, I'm gonna try to knock him out.
Yeah, do it.
I'm gonna try. He's gonna say, I appreciate your understanding and your patience as we try to figure out what to do next. And of course, you do not need to worry about our host. Perhaps, if I might offer an idea, my lord. Let us take the host to Horn Hill and maintain it there. From there, whatever witnesses you need for your trial, we can provide. And when justice is met, and all in the realm know that you have done everything to keep the peace, come back and celebrate your tournament winnings, my tournament winnings, with us at Horn Hill. Show true unity between the houses and merriment. We have
a feast.
fine wine, fine food. It would be an honor. I shouldn't speak for my father, and he casts his side eye to Glendon just to make sure that Glendon's not like doing one of these.
No, he's cool with it. He's cool with it.
Okay.
But Lord Leo does say, well, I tell you what, make the roll instead, and then we'll figure out what he says.
So this is a convince. I'm gonna use the +1 die I got from the assist. I'm gonna use my last +1 die for my status breeding as well.
Yeah. You got a little bonus die, dude, in chat as well in your window if you want it. You can only roll a maximum of your rank in bonus dice. So if your persuasion is 3 or 4, you can roll 3 or 4 bonus dice. You can't roll any more than that.
It'll be a 20 versus his intrigue defense, and I think he still has minus cunning until the end of this turn.
He just went, so he's back.
Oh, okay,
now.
So he has it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is 2 degrees of success.
All right. Is it double?
It's not double.
Okay. So let's see. 2 degrees of success is going to be...
Convince would be your will rank times 2.
Yeah. So that's just going to be 6.
Okay. Okay. He is still in. But it is Mara's turn.
I think
Give him
Mara.
the old 1-2.
I feel like Mara's listening to Samwell, and I think the two of them are pretty good at doing this, where she figures out what he's doing. That he's trying to find this middle ground that actually kind of favors them. So I think she, as he's talking, she starts to smile, and as he finishes, she kind of jumps in almost, not excitedly, but kind of in that like, yeah, this is great. And she'll go, my lord, that actually sounds like a wonderful idea. I mean, I've never led a host, but there are all of these men here who marched to see that justice would be done. And that's what you've given them. If we were to just disband the host entirely now, well, it would be such a letdown for so many men who would be so loyal to the cause of justice and peace. If, as Samuel says, we could maintain the host at Horn Hill, and then, when justice has been done at the trial, come and celebrate. Let them see their liege lord, who has given them the justice that they marched here for, who didn't just tell them to believe in justice and disband, but to stay together in unity, to see it through to the end. Is that not what the Reach stands for? Strong roots, strong unity between everybody.
Lady Faye does pipe up at this point, though, and she does point out that for his lordship to attend a feast at Horn Hill at exactly this time, where you are the defendant in an accusation of an attempt on your life, some would
Not
see
now,
that.
after the trial. Regardless of which way it goes.
Equally so, my lady.
Then not Horn Hill. Then we will bring everybody to Highgarden to celebrate, to see that justice is done. We will find a neutral ground. But there is a host of men here, my lord, who came to see that justice was done. All of them hoping and believing that they would see you do justice, and that's what you've done. To send them away now, it would be so disheartening. Instead, we keep their spirits up on your side, on our side, to keep them believing in what it is we're trying to set a foundation for now. She's kind of pushing that, like, this is all unity and it'll be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's have a party.
Why don't you roll for me?
Have I got a bonus dice in my window? I can't look at Twitch right now because it will just, like, kill my internet.
You have a bonus dice and a keep dice. I am going to make this deception, though.
Okay.
This is a play. This isn't you thinking a feast would be a fantastic idea.
Can I use deception convince, or would it have to be like bluff?
Yeah, deception convince is fine.
Cool. I will use a bonus dice then.
You also
I'm just going to roll with persuasion because my deception rank and my persuasion rank are the same.
Okay.
I think I get a penalty somewhere.
Was that deception?
I reroll sixes. That's what happens.
Gotcha. Are you using a bonus dice from your frame or a test dice from your frame?
Bonus dice.
Bonus dice. Okay.
24. That's 4 sixes, so I need to reroll.
V.
How do I roll things again?
V, you roll persuasion, not deception.
My persuasion and my deception are the same.
Oh, in that case, ignore me.
Yeah. I just need to roll. Hold on, I need to roll.
Or she's conning both of us, Tom.
46.
They were so V.
Okay, hold on. So those sixes need to be. Oh God.
So V, they were V. No, you. That's your result because they were all the dice you kept were all sixes.
I have to re-roll sixes though.
Yeah, so you re-rolled all the dice you kept, and 16 is now your new score.
Right. Okay.
Still, that fucking roll though.
Honor bound, man. Wrecks everything. She's she likes telling the truth. She doesn't like lying. But I'm proud of that. That makes up for the poor 5 earlier, even though I don't get to keep it.
Okay, so with the 16, that is 1 degree.
Oh wait,
of
hold on. I add stuff to still hold
to
on.
persuasion tests, not deception tests, though. Right?
I might have one that just affects convince. Hold on, I can't find anything. It'd be 17. I get +1 to anything with convince, so that probably doesn't make a difference.
Okay, sure. That is 2 degrees of success, actually. 17. You are on the threshold.
Yay.
So convince is will rank. So will rank times 2.
8.
All right. So you have 1. So you've convinced him of your objective. What is your objective? You have won the killing blow. No, it's Mara. What is Mara's objective? To get him to have a feast after.
I think the objective is just to because I think what she understood from what Samuel was getting across was that they didn't want to necessarily disband the host. So it's that kind of, let's not disband the host, let's keep them, and then we can celebrate with them afterwards to show that they marched for a reason, and then it's done.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not done for them until that happens. So.
All right, yeah. So
it's that.
Yeah, essentially, he's convinced of the idea that the men have some investment in what happens to you and to Samuel in the house, and so he will allow the host to. I can't believe I'm saying this. He's such a
Dude, I'm gonna kill
dickhead.
him now. I'm
Fucking
literally gonna go in. He is
Just
literally
please
the
do it. His
worst
5-year-old fucking son would be a better
character.
lord than he is.
Holy shit.
I'm sorry, George.
Where's a faceless man when you need one? You know?
Well, no. Leo pulls up his face and it's Don's old character. No. No, all right. He is somehow convinced that there is some personal investment for your men, and he allows them to march up to High Garden. What a dickhead. With you.
Dude, that makes no sense. That makes zero fucking sense. I'm sorry, but it does. It makes no
Yeah.
sense at all.
What about the idea of the host staying at Horn Hill?
No. Do you know what? If you
Okay.
guys can do this, then he can do this too. He is not going to go through with that objective, but he is going to take stress.
Oh, I like that.
So he stands, and upon leaving the tent, all he says back to you with his entourage following is, "I'm sorry that you had to refuse." And it's like, well then, and just like heads. Oh, there was a sudden drop there, and now everybody's different. Literally everyone is different.
I wonder who it was.
Yeah. Susie, what did you do? Why have you got a guilty face?
Because I may have accidentally clicked the stop video button by complete accident.
Oh, well, actually, V, whose internet has been patchy, who I thought would be the culprit tonight, is in the right spot. So there we go.
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
Everyone's back in. Okay.
What's the stress do? Just as like a reminder.
Yeah. Let me pull up their Sword Chronicle PDF.
I just remember that it's cool.
It is cool. I do really like it. Where did I put it? Oh, I put it in its own folder. Okay. Good job, Sam. Intrigue. Complex. Victory points. Stress. Okay. So, instead of accepting, you disobey. Oh, hello, cat. In essence, you've decided to deny yourself your social needs and turn your back on your instincts. But this in turn induces feeling of guilt, anxiety, and other unpleasant emotions. Each rank of stress imposes a cumulative -1 dice penalty on awareness, cunning, and status tests. You can accumulate up to 2 ranks of stress. If you would gain a third, you lose your stress, but you gain a drawback. So this, what I'm going to say is, okay, you may remove a stress rank by spending a destiny point or deciding on obedience after all. Now, economically, that's poor, I think. So you can either just take a couple of stress and then just get a drawback anyway, or you could, oh no, I suppose because you could get a drawback, which is basically kind of equal to a destiny point.
Sorry, did it say spend or burn a destiny point to get rid of the stress?
Spend. Oh,
dude,
spend is different. Yeah,
I'm gonna get stressed more often now because I got destiny points to spend, and
Yeah. I would essentially, I wouldn't allow it to be immediate, but but after a bit of time with you having this stress, then you can spend a destiny point and get rid of it. But there has to have been some time. So he's going to be a stressed little boy for a little while he heads back to the keep.
I love this image of him walking out the tent, and he's got a desk. He steps outside, goes, and
Yeah,
he starts walking.
Meh.
Just yeah.
Oh man. All right, cool. Okay. Enzo and Miria, we're gonna head back up to the keep as you enter the Great Hall. Late into the evening, you see Lady Cassella Tyrell, formerly Lady Bright, stood on the dais of House Greenmont. So she is stood but not sat at the old wooden throne of the house. And as you enter, she invites you to step closer. She is guarded by a small contingent, small cadre of household guards. And she informs you that I am to take over guardianship of Lord Bryn and Fox Hollow, while Lady Marcia is at court on trial. I mean, she's speaking to the both of you, but in a very public place, obviously. She'll go into some courtly detail that I can't imagine right now, but yeah, she goes into a little bit more about it.
After the Kill Bill sirens have quietened down in Maria's head for a minute.
Hey, she's Dornish. I thought you'd like her.
No. It's just that immediate, like, you know how Maria be.
Someone kill that. Where are we?
Tom, stop laughing. You
Sorry, I can't. I'll mute myself.
Maria looks pissed off. I mean, that's been her default expression ever since certain persons marched themselves onto her land again. Unwelcome again. Love you too, but I hate your characters. Maria nods. I suppose this is by will of Lord Tyrell.
She smiles.
Because we all know who really is in charge.
Well, she's Dornish, and she has some power too.
Has Lady Marcia been informed? Do you not think it would be respectful to tell her?
She will learn in time on the road, but I thought it proper first to speak to the two of you, as I would imagine that guardianship of Bryn would go to one of you.
Went to me. As did the house, according to papers left by Lady Marcia.
Let me see. And she walks over and extends a hand.
So Maria will dispatch someone to go grab, because I don't think she's carrying around, right?
All right.
With her.
Yeah, sure.
Dispatches someone to the solar and retrieves the documents. Written in Lady Marcia's own hand.
She, just because I like the drama, she reads it, she walks over to the fireplace, and she just throws it in, and she says, "You won't be needing that anymore."
Oh.
At this point, Enzo has instinctively his hand has moved directly to Maria's hand, gave it a comforting squeeze. And
hers is like iron. She is squeezing their hand back.
Yeah. And Enzo smiles. We can always write another one when Marcia returns.
You will still be welcome here, of course.
I should hope so. It's my home.
Unless, of course, you wish to travel and provide witness on Lady Marcia's behalf.
Enzo will be traveling to Highgarden. I have business elsewhere, but in my stead, I am going to appoint my betrothed, Ellery Peak. You can report all household affairs to him.
Of course, my lady.
When I return, I expect to find the keep as it was.
Of course. What exactly do you think I intend to do?
She just looks at the fireplace. You haven't had a great start. And she's just staring at her like,
oh
they're
yeah,
having her like a bitch off, I
yeah,
imagine.
yeah. And she kind of, she's kind of ladylike. She kind of, wrings her hands a little bit. She says, "Well, when are you leaving?"
Tomorrow.
Very well.
Very well. Maria gives like a really fake, courteous smile back. And so, is there anything else that you wish to say to the lady?
No, I look forward to seeing High Garden. I hear it's very beautiful.
Enzo will also be taking Lord Bryn with him to High Garden. As Lord Greenmont, it is his duty to watch over any trials regarding members of his household, particularly those regarding his mother.
You look over to where Bryn is playing with her son, Lord Peter. Let's say Peter. And they are just like a couple of kids kind of oblivious to what's going on. They are, playing. There's probably some little wooden horses or something. And there's a couple of Tyrell guards stood around for sure. She says, "It's such a shame. And not to leave any member of the house here at all."
Maria is in like such a stressy position.
Enzo's going to step forward. Surely such a decision should be left to the mother. I mean, as a mother yourself, you know what's best for your child, no?
Tom, I want you to give me a persuasion test.
Okay.
Let's make this a quick persuasion test.
Well, what persuasion? What? Convince, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. Boop. 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 I get to re-roll that.
Oh yeah, nice.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's a 1, yeah.
Hang on. Roll 20's being evil.
It's all right.
Sec. It's literally blocking 5. So 10, 16.
Very nice. Yeah.
I'll have to reload roll 20. It's screwing up.
That's okay.
16.
But yes, she you pleading to her more maternal instincts, absolutely, yeah. She thinks, yeah. Very well. Then please speak with Lady Marzia for me. And let me know what your decision is.
And so we'll nod. And he'll kind of look at Miria to see if there's anything else she would like to say.
There's a lot. I think Miria goes full passive aggressive Karen and says, right, well, if you're going to run this house, this is what you need to know, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And she just lists a ton of like bullshit at her.
Yeah, sure thing.
Before she leaves in a huff and goes to sort her gear to leave tomorrow.
Okay. I want to carry on with that. So we cut to you essentially like packing, and I could imagine not packing any kind of noble garb, dresses, ladylike attire. You've got traveling gear. You've got like more kind of slightly more peasantly stuff, maybe. Still got the armor from your fights for your melee. Just packing that, and then there's a little knock at the door, and the golden curls of Lord Jourdain stand in the doorway.
Of course they do. My Lord Jourdain.
My lady.
And I think Miria like just looks over her shoulder. She's like shoving shit into her pack.
My lady Miria.
How can I help you this evening?
What's a turn of events?
Mm-hmm. Quite.
And now a Dornish lady, full born and bred, ruling over Fox Hollow for a while.
Apparently so.
Hmm.
Married to a Reacher, though.
Yes, well, we can afford everyone some slip up, can't we?
Of course.
That information you were going to find for me, did you?
Did I? Because we kind of skirted over that whole time period to zoom forward to the host arriving. Because I didn't say Mary wanted to do that, but we kind of like timey-wimey zoomed a bit.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, look, this is not going to take an amazing leap of logic to figure out that what Queen Mariah is doing is essentially kind of figuring her lords out in terms of your plot. She's at the recruiting agents phase of the Crusader Kings murder plot. She's seeing who she can bribe. She's seeing who she's got weak hooks on. This is going to just get turned into Crusader Kings. Can you tell, Tom? Can you tell that Lord Leo basically wants to up his crown authority because it's shit? It's basically what it is. Yeah, she's essentially sussing people out for the plot.
I did. The Queen was assessing the Lords of Dawn. See those that she could trust, those that she could use.
Why? What is she doing?
Miria. Oh, this is so stupid.
You want to tell me?
She walks past Jourdain, opens her door just to make sure. Well, no, actually, because I imagine Jourdain left it open for propriety, right?
Oh yeah, he was just fucking lazy about
Yeah.
it. Just saunters in.
Yeah.
Not closing
so Miria's
doors.
Gonna walk up to her door, just very casually look out, and then close it before she moves up to him and very quietly says, "Oh my god." So I've got a red stupid button. There we go.
Yeah.
The Queen has a plot. A plot that certain people may be involved in. And she gives him a look like, certain people, wink.
Certain people.
Certain people. Certain ladies who maybe disguised themselves and entered a tournament.
Well, there are not many of those around here.
There are not. No, she... Oh, God, Maria. She has dispatched me to Sunspear to deal with a problem that has long been in her side.
Really? I can only imagine what that would be. Well, I am indeed in your debt. So what, my lady, would you have of me?
I need you to be my eyes and ears amongst the lords. You are someone who is in good standing, despite apparently your standoffish nature with the Queen. I need you to report to me what you see and what you hear, particularly relating to that woman that now stands where my good mother stood. Whilst I'm gone, Mara and Samuel will no doubt weasel their way into getting whatever they want. I need to hear about it. And should I ever pass your household, obviously, room and board would be lovely.
I will dispatch a raven as soon as I am able. But yes, you are right. Perhaps I may stay a while and be entertained by this incredible situation. It's like one of the old songs.
Hmm. Yes, I just hope that when I return, there isn't a usurper sat in my family seat.
I hope not too. At least in your family's seat. And with that, he slowly turns and
Double
he
meanings.
creaks open the door, gives
Mhm.
you one last look before he closes it behind him. Does anyone have any last minute business before we wrap up on the season?
I wouldn't mind
Mhm.
just two things.
Mhm.
One, he would like to speak to Lady Rowan
Mhm.
to get information about how Leo Tyrell and herself are going to approach this matter, and if possible, although it may be slightly difficult, to have a chat with Mara. But it's very possible
Oh.
he may not be able to because of certain situations. Now, Enzo's not an idiot. He's not going to put himself in danger. You know, he's not an idiot. So if it's not possible, you know, with just simple messages and he just says no or they couldn't get through, then he's just going to leave it. But
No.
Mara would be fine meeting with
You know.
Enzo, but she would take the personal guard that Samuel has kind of assigned to her.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the thing. As long
absolutely.
as it's somewhere neutral, like in that, because there's all that open
Yeah.
space, right, where they have the parlay.
Yeah,
probably
absolutely.
a tent. It's probably a tent still up with.
It's got to be like,
And-
under a tree somewhere, dead of night, big moon in the sky kind of thing. Very quickly, if you want a hand, we'll very quickly brush over what the
Yeah.
conversation with Lady Rowan is. How they intend to handle it.
Mm.
She confesses that Lord Leo needs allies at court. So they are essentially figuring out which side to play. She's only she's only speaking to you about this,
Of course.
like in confidence because of your
course.
relationship. But
Yeah.
you get that juicy fruit that
is a juicy fruit.
they are essentially figuring out like which side to back. Because he needs allies to get this law through.
Will she tell me what side she wants to back?
As much as they have been kind of rebellious, and she confesses to you that she was engaged to Samuel for a time. She doesn't know Fox Hollow very well, and neither does the court, really.
Yeah.
That could work in Leo's favour if he can work Marzi around.
Okay.
But she favours the Tarleys.
Yeah. I mean, power get wise, it makes sense.
If you can convince these lords to vote for this, if you can convince Glendon to vote for this, that's a big show for a lot of lordlings and lesser lords and landed knights and stuff.
Okay.
But he essentially needs a majority here to be able to bring the King's Peace to the Reach. And the King's Peace basically being you can't fight each other because the King will come after you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I've got some
I
things
swirling. I didn't even think that was going to come out. Brilliant. Awesome.
I got some things swirling for next season.
All right. Then I'll leave the scene open for the two of you. But I will say, yes, it is more secretive. A little grove just down the valley. This large tree let's say a fucking oak tree for the sake of symbolism.
Oak tree.
Mara would have absolutely told Samwell that she was having this meeting. She's not going to keep it from him, and she would leave it to him whether or not he wanted to come and stay at a distance or be part of it, or like it's totally up to him. That she will take Gregor, and I want to say Hunter is what we named the other guard.
It was.
Yeah. No, he would tell Mara that he trusts Enzo, and that there's men around, like Enzo's not going to try to pull anything. You know, they've got their entire camp here. If she feels safe, then and Enzo wants to speak with her, then Enzo should speak with her. And if Enzo wants, and you know, he would probably tell Mara that if Enzo ever wants to talk to Samwell, to send him a raven.
And Enzo
Okay.
absolutely told Lady Rowan that he was going to see Lady Mara.
Sam, I do have a
She's not
question before the
surprised. She
scene
knows how
starts.
stuff works. Yeah, go on.
Is the mood in the camp that, oh, okay, well, we weren't able to convince Leo, so I guess we're disbanding, or is it still up in the air?
Do you know what? I'll leave it down to you. And it doesn't have to be something that we decide right now either.
Okay.
That might be cool to
All
figure
right,
out a little bit in downtime. So we can open up kind of next season with a little bit of surprise for the guys here, with like, there's a host at High Garden, or there's not a host at High Garden, or whatever, you know.
Yeah, Mara will ride out with Gregor and Hunter in the kind of similar attire that she's been wearing, the kind of the Tarly colours that she started to slowly adopt, and that rapier that she still keeps at her side.
And I would like to think that Enzo's already there, and he's possibly kind of like leaning up against the tree already. He's got his hat on, you know, with the big feathers, and he's kind of relaxed in just enjoying the cool night air.
She'll dismount as the guards do as well, but they won't like follow right up behind her. They'll just stay by the horses.
Okay. And he'll turn and do a bow. And, Lady Milia, I am so glad you were able to come for this meeting.
She pulls the hood back, and this will probably be the first time you see that ruined left half of her face.
I like to think that Enzo is normally quite good at hiding facial expressions. And if she's wary enough, you can see kind of like a twitch of the eyebrow, like a whoa kind of thing, just how much it was mangled. And he'll kind of pause for a moment and smile and say, not even Shadowcat could take your beauty, Lady Mara.
She laughs and she smiles a bit. Tell me you didn't know when you set up that meeting.
I didn't know.
Does she believe him? Does he look like he's lying? She really wants to believe him, but can I roll to see if she thinks that there is deception?
He says it as Tom says it.
Cool.
So it's
She-
kind of
she
straight
studies
off, it's straight off the bat, you know, it's so give that what you will, whether he's just repeating what you said to try and dupe you, or whether it's very easy for him to say because it's truthful. Either way.
She eyes you really carefully and kind of half wary, half hopeful. You really didn't know.
He'll kind of slightly smirk and kind of turn his back and start slightly walking so he can kind of get a view of kind of like the grounds below. No, I did not know. But truthfully, you could never truly know whether or not I am lying. I am a pilot after all, and I do lie.
Everybody lies.
More than many would like to admit.
I believe you. Considering that you are a pirate, I think that you perhaps would have come up with a much better plan than the one that Marcia decided to spring on me in the Gods Wood.
Perhaps. So, is what you say really true as to what happened? That she ordered the Shadow Cat to attack?
The way that she orders that shadow cat to do anything else, yes.
I see.
I told you in my letter, I didn't want to hunt ghosts. I'm not here to start some vendetta. I'm here to get justice for something that did happen, for a wrong that she did commit.
And that is what you want now? Justice?
Justice. That is all.
And how often do people get justice in this world?
Some, but perhaps not the justice that they deserve. But if we don't try...
If you don't try, things will go on as normal. Some justice will happen, other justice won't. Justice, trying to seek justice for something is just... it gets in the way. It gets in the way of what people really want.
What would you rather have me do, Enzo? Send that host after her?
No,
Forever hold a grudge?
well, I could not tell
Wait.
you what
Wait for
you
her
want.
to send somebody else to finish the job that she couldn't?
I would look and think to myself what I really want. What do you really want, Mara? Do you really want to see Lady Marcia die and then you will be happy? What do you really want?
Do I want her dead? A bit of me, perhaps. She did try to kill me after all. I think that's perfectly normal, but... No, of course I don't want her dead. She has 2 sons. Myria. But she cannot do what she did and think that she can get away with it without any punishment, without consequences. That is dangerous for anybody.
It is. You only have to look at Samuel. He was part of that night, was he not? And he was not punished. I
From
do
what
not
he's
mean...
told me, I don't think he expected that night to go the way that it did.
No.
And Aleister was very good at talking people into things.
I never met him. But I like to think that if you fell for him and you did love him,
He
no?
was a fool, and so was I.
And what are you now, Mara?
Wiser.
A big smile on his face. Good, good. But you had still not answered my question. What is it that you want? Truly, what is it that you want?
All she does, she kind of looks at him for a minute and considers whether or not she wants to say anything. And you can see the kind of the questioning in her eyes about whether or not she really wants to say what she means. And I'm sure Enzo will probably understand because they're in this weird, there's a trial about to happen, and she just smiles at him and looks over her shoulder back towards the camp. What I want is to live the rest of my life however I see fit, without worrying that Marcia is going to try and kill me again, without having to worry about shadow cats leaping out of the shadows, without having to worry about petty squabbles. I want what I've always wanted.
And that is?
She just smiles.
What if I could help you get what you want? What you truly, truly want?
My dear Enzo, and why would you want to help me? Forgive me, but you are a pirate. You said it yourself.
Indeed, I am. But I am also a friend of Lady Marzia. I have grown fond of House Greenmont. And to be honest, I think I could grow fond of you and Samuel. I do not like see families torn apart.
What is it you want, Enzo?
I don't want anything from you.
Both of us are very good at playing games. So instead of going round and round, tell me why you want to help me and what you want to help me with, and then tell me what you want in return.
The way I see it is that if I help you, it helps multiple situations. Multiple times, we know that you wish, well, I know that you wish to be with Samuel. It is not hidden news, no. You know, you love him, he loves you, just like he loved Aleister. Maybe more to you. I would like to think it was more to you. But the way that the reach is, you must truly know that officially you could never be together. So,
That's a lot of gold and a very drunk High Septon, no.
I think not even all the gold in Westeros would allow you to do that. I think you know deep down you love that. So why don't we bypass it altogether? Why don't you and Samuel, I know friends, and why don't you go on a journey across the narrow sea to a place where you can live in happiness together? No politics, no enemies, no shadow cats. A chance at true happiness. Because you know full well, deep down in your heart, you will never get that here.
It's not my decision to make.
No, it is not. Put it forward to Samuel. I am quite confident that he will reject it as the honorable knight that he is and heir of the household. But at the same time, he has to take you what you want in consideration too. Never forget that. He might have some grand things that once he is head of the house that you can be married and live happily ever after. But we know that's not the case. That is never the case in politics.
Every time that I have thought that something is never possible, the gods continue to surprise me.
You are relying on gods for this to happen, no? You think the gods will interfere and give this to you over me? I am shocked.
The gods don't interfere. Occasionally, the things we ask for work with whatever plan they've decided upon.
That is true. The gods do not. But I do. And I can make this happen. Think about
I
it.
appreciate it, Enzo, and for the fact that we are friends, I will tell him of your offer. But I think we both know what he would say.
Indeed. But, as I said, you must have your say too. And figure out what you truly, truly want.
Before I figure anything else out, I'd like to get this trial over and done with.
That is up to you. But my offer will not stand for very long. And the quicker we do this, the easier it will be.
Is this because you'd like to see the both of us disappear before the trial so there is no one to testify against the Lady Marzia?
That is beneficial. I'm not going to lie, that is very beneficial for my friend Marzia. I like looking after my friends. I will make sure that the shadow cat gets killed. We will kill it. But the way I see it, you have your happy ending. Marzia gets to live. And I keep all my friends. I don't see a problem with that.
For a pirate, Enzo, you are a good man.
Don't split that around.
Well, as good of a man as a pirate can be. I will ask him. He will say no. But I appreciate that you came to me with the offer. But I also can't run away from this.
Don't think of it as running. Think of it as a new beginning. A chance of a fresh start. Isn't that what you always wanted? Fresh
Isn't that what
start.
everybody wants at one point or another?
Very true. But you actually have a chance to do it. Not many people do.
I think if we wanted to run away across the narrow sea, we could have done that years ago.
Possibly. Without getting recognized, without his father stopping him. Maybe.
I'm not entirely sure his father knew where we were for most of the time we were traveling, except for wherever the money was being sent. She kind of laughs. She's kind of lightning.
Well, I have done what I can. I will apologize now for if I have to defend my friend, that I will. And anything that is said in the court, it is out of love for a friend. We may be at opposite sides with these coming weeks. But no, I do not hold any ill will towards you or Samuel.
Samuel wanted me to say that if you ever did want to speak to him, you only have to send a raven. Or, you know, make your way to the camp back there. There's plenty of wine.
I don't think that's a good idea, but I appreciate the offer. And I will think on it. Maybe, who knows?
I won't hold it against you either, Enzo. You have to defend Marzia. I understand that. I'm glad to know that you didn't know, though.
Or did I? He'll smirk. And he'll kind of give like a bit of a flourish of a bow with, taking the hat off and thing. I will see you in Highgarden.
Mara kind of puts her arm on the top of his shoulder in that kind of friendly fashion. Yes. Let's hope that there is an end to this that maybe isn't terrible for all of us.
We can only hope.
And she will get back up on her horse, go back to camp, and have that conversation with Samuel where she knows exactly what he's going to say.
Well, and with that, I think we'll wrap it up. But yeah,
can I just do one thing? And as she rides off, Enzo kind of just stands there watching, and it's about a couple of minutes later, out of the trees, you see kind of like the four people that each side kind of watching over the thing, and he'll smile. Come on, let's get some wine and head back to the castle.
Nice. All right. And with that, we will wrap up tonight's session and season. Oh, there were some juicy fruits towards the end of this, friends. Let me tell you. It's all unexpected ones as well. I'm keen for it. I'm really excited to see what happens next season, for sure. All right. Let's go around, check in with everybody, see how we're all doing. Dawn. So, the host has not been disbanded. Not yet, anyway. Lord Leo buckled under pressure as I fucking expected. But, yeah. There are little avenues to pursue next season. One of them being just buggering off to Essos.
Yeah. There is like a certain place in Essos Sam has always wanted to go. Like certain people, he's always wanted. I'm just kidding. I'm I'm excited. I'm excited for next season. I really enjoyed this season. It was totally different than the other ones. And it's kind of weird finding the schism of players. You know, if like half the folks claim to be on one side, half the folks to be on the other side. But I feel like, you know, we've navigated it pretty well this season, and I thought it's been really interesting. And I'm excited for Miria. I'm not a big fan of the queen or, you know, her husband, but I'm very big fan of Miria, and I can't wait for her to go get some just desserts down in Dorne. And yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. We haven't been to Highgarden in a while. I think that'll be fun. And making more terrible choices. I think there's gonna be a lot of terrible choices made next season.
Awesome. What are you up to? Anything to plug? Where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Jonathan Fry if you want. I write stuff and I run stuff, stream, and I post about it all there. Yeah, you know, I'm working on a bunch of different things right now. I'm getting close to the end of my sort of like Game of Thrones-esque Dark Sun campaign, Rise of the Veiled Alliance. So it's D&D, but it's very, very super political, and it's similar to this in that like the players aren't all on the same side as like the campaign's gone on. Like they've kind of schismed off, and it's gonna be really interesting to see like who makes big grabs for power, like who's willing to like take things to the next level in terms of how much they're willing to act against others. I'm excited to see it all play out. So over the next couple of weeks, I know we'll be wrapping up that campaign. And that's my big thing right now, really.
Cool.
Other than that, I'm always happy to be here hanging out and having fun with this game. I can't believe that I'm still alive, you know, with this character.
You do have like the biggest number of deaths, I think. Kind of.
I do. Yeah, well, we don't know about number 2. We don't,
No,
which is my
that's
nickname
true.
for the faceless man. Yeah, we don't. He could be a prince right now. I still don't know. Maybe we'll find out one day.
Yeah. Cool. All right, friend. Thanks so much. V with the juicy fruits there. Fucking hell.
Yeah. I just want to say, Tom, I really loved that end bit. I love that was Enzo's offer, because Don and I have talked about, like, you know, what Sam and Mara talk about and what goes on kind of outside in downtime. And one of the jokes that we keep having is like, they could just move to Essos and be wine merchants. Like that would suit them very well. So but yeah, this was fun. I like all the juice. I'm looking forward to being back at Highgarden, because Mara's been to Highgarden a couple of times, and it's never been that great for her. Like it's another one of those places like Fox Hollow that she's like, can I just not? Like, it's like this is entirely for her. This is like history repeating itself.
Yeah.
Her husband has gone to war. She's followed him. They've come back. Now there's a trial happening at Highgarden. So it's just, yeah.
It's a lot.
But for her, there's a little bit of just like, oh God, is this again? Like she's just waiting for something else terrible to happen. But I'm looking forward to next season and watching everybody press big red stupid buttons. Especially Miria. I want to see her murder some people. That's what I want. I want to see her take Ironwood.
Yeah.
Like I love Susie really, even if Miria hates me.
But
we would have helped you take Ironwood, but
sure.
Yeah.
Apart from taking Ironwood, what else are you up to? And where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch at Tabletop Horde and Twitter. I'm going to attempt to see what my internet looks like tomorrow. And if it looks really good, then maybe I'll stream. But I may just wait till we have a new router because my internet provider hates me, apparently. But otherwise, I write things. I think everything I'm doing at the moment is all with Modiphius. So keep an eye out there. Sam and I are on for ModCon at the weekends. If you want to see us talk about like 2D20, that's a Saturday panel at I want to say 7.
I don't
know
GMT.
I don't know when your other panel is, and
Both
I'm playing
of mine
Active
are
Cthulhu on.
But go on.
Both of yours are Saturday, right? Yeah. And then
Both.
Acts and Cthulhu on Sunday.
Yeah. Both of mine are at 7, but Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I
Cool.
think that's about it.
Thanks so much. And Susie.
Sorry, I was just being a mother in chat.
That's all right. Marching orders, friend.
Oh,
Off to go.
oh, off I go to go do me an assassination.
Going on your adventure.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Can't wait to finally get a win. Hopefully next season that doesn't immediately blow up in my face. That'd be nice. Gonna kill myself a prince. Gonna get myself a house. Got a big list of people to murder once I do that. So, it's all go from this point for Miria. She's got a little plan. She's got it all set up. She's got a little bullet journal. She's got a Dornish washi tapes in there and her stickers, which are mainly just knives.
That's an amazing idea.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm hype. I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Nice one.
This has been an interesting season.
It has, yeah.
In terms of like pacing and things that have happened. Yeah. But yeah, good. I'm Susie, otherwise known as Susanna Grace. I'm a variety streamer. I do video games. I do art streams sometimes, and then sometimes I also do tabletop RPGs like this one. You found me on my channel, which is twitch.tv/Susanna Grace, where I basically am just a Red Dead Redemption 2 roleplay streamer now. My criminal, if you tune in and stream tomorrow, is done doing the like binoculars. Oh, there's any law in town? No? Okay, we can go in. She's just gonna walk straight into town now. And when they're trying to arrest her, she's gonna be like, no. So we're gonna see how that turns out.
Cool.
And then IGM for the North on Monday, which is another Song of Ice and Fire campaign set in the North, which is about maybe 5 years before this campaign, but in the same sort of timeline. And that's got 2 episodes left before the big finale.
Wow.
So yeah. But
Cool.
other than that, I do media marketing for Black House Gaming, and we made a game. It's called The Spy Game. It's a 5e powered game of international espionage and action, and you should buy it because it's great. And we'll also, from next Wednesday, be doing a streamed campaign in which Sam is GMing. I'm going to be a player, as well as a bunch of really cool folks. We had session 0 yesterday. I'm very excited. Yeah, that's about it.
Thanks so much. Awesome. And Tom, we're coming in with the juicy fruits at the end.
Gotta have some juicy fruits at the end.
Very
right?
cool. Very cool, man.
Yeah. I mean, I am so excited for next season because I get to do what I really love about this system, and it's intrigue. I love doing intrigue and the talking, and I've got a character that can back it up as well.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to do stuff like that. And I wanted, because he didn't really get a huge chance this season because there wasn't really a huge amount of intrigue. It was very physical. So I wanted to do a little bit to show the potential and how his mind works at the very end. And and kind of like show that he genuinely kind of like, he wouldn't mind being mates with Mara, and he doesn't want people to die, so get them out of the way. Marzia lives, they live happily ever after.
It's a good play.
Elsewhere.
Yeah.
Win-win, right? Win-win.
It's a good play.
But hey ho, I knew it wasn't going to work, but it's to it's to get them thinking. But I am very excited for next season. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for me.
Nice.
All the back dealings and stuff.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a fight yet, which I'm quite happy with. So I've been I've actively been avoiding fights.
Nice.
Like Enzo says, he doesn't fight unless the advantage is well within his favor, and he's guaranteed to win. So yeah, it's great. I can't wait for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. For myself, I don't really do anything online anymore. This is the only thing that I do, but you can check me out on Twitter, which is Hotflakes Tom, and I'm on Discord and all that jazz. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Cheers, man. Awesome. And while Susie enjoys her frozen cat, I am Sam. You find me around the internet at RPG Webby. I'm the head of product over at Modifius Entertainment and one part of Black Cats Gaming. Susie's right. We made a game and it's awesome. It's called the Spy Game, and we are going to start streaming it in a campaign that I'm calling Hex Crawl from next Wednesday. So tune into that if you're interested. I'm putting together the little overlays, and we've did our session 0. We've got some Juicy Fruits character backgrounds in there too that I have already begun to dig my little paws into and like mess around with. So one of them tried to like actually conned one of the other characters, and they just don't remember. So we're gonna find out who that might be later on. But yeah, so join us for that. Let's head over and host somebody. We have got Raid even. WebDM's back on. I saw them pop up on my phone just a little while ago, so I think it's safe to go over to them, not raid someone who immediately goes offline like we usually do. So let's head over to them. But thanks for hanging out with us. As ever. Did that work? Why didn't that work? That's because it's /raid. Well done, Sam. I know how the internet works. There we go. Thanks so much, friends. We're back with news of season 5. Oh my god, season 5. And the Spy Game very soon. So check us out on Twitter and all the rest for those announcements. See you all later. Enjoy the rest of your day.